All right, I'm a big James Gunn fan. I loved his previous work. I thought he did a great job with Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was, like, even better. So much fun. Guys, I'm a little disappointed that there was no Groot, no Rocket Raccoon, and no Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
This is Suicide Squad.
Wait, what? Hey guys, just kidding. We just came out of Suicide Squad 2 weeks early. Not the other James Gunn franchise, Guardians of the Galaxy, but we are excited for the third one in that.
Yeah, which is, I think he got done filming Suicide Squad and went right back to filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, because this movie, seriously, it feels like it takes place in the same universe. Like
I wouldn't say that.
No, it does. Like, this is what's taking place on Earth as Star-Lord is flying up. Like, I would love to see a crossover. You could do a crossover of these two so easily.
DC and Marvel don't mix.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even care. Like, I don't care about DC and Marvel. I care about, like, these characters are fun, and I would love to see them go into the same universe. Like, that would be a total blast. How fun would it be if DC and Marvel did a crossover?
I think they've done it. They have done it in the cartoon, maybe, but I know for sure in the comics there was a Marvel versus DC.
Yeah,
so it's like Justice League versus
right?
Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
versus Avengers. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, that is my dream one day. If the studios could get along and get Spider-Man into Avengers, then anything is possible. I don't know anytime soon, but that would be a really cool crossover between DC and Marvel, kind of like going at it to see who's just like this fun romp kind of a movie, you know? But yeah, we just got out 2 weeks early. We got advance tickets. WB, Warner Brothers, thank you so much for trusting us with your review for this.
We've been loving the WB movies, Space Jam and...
I did not like Space Jam.
Oh, well.
I've liked
In
the Heights, Godzilla vs. King Kong.
In
what else
the
did we
Heights
get?
is great.
Warner Brothers. In the Heights, Godzilla vs. King Kong.
This one
was Mortal
Suicide
Kombat.
Squad.
Mortal Kombat, thank you.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Mortal Kombat, and we got Dune, the last big Warner Brothers movie coming up in December.
Yeah.
That is gonna be so exciting.
Oh my gosh, I can't even think about it. Anyways, because I've read the books and I'm just my mind. But yeah, we're Geeked in Movies. We got 200 new subscribers in just the last 2 months alone. Thank you guys for supporting us to that level. We are so close. We're at 956 subscribers. We need only 44 subscribers to hit the magic 1,000 subscribers number. So please help us get there. If you're watching this and there's a lot of us, a lot of you guys who are on the website that I get emails from, but you haven't clicked subscribe. I swear I'm not going to spam you. The only thing you're going to get from us is our reviews, and that's it. Like, we're not trying to sell you anything. Besides that, help us reach that number, reach that goal. We want to continue to grow and get more support. So yeah, help us. I don't know what else. 1,000 subs, yeah. So I'm going to go first with my review. Then we got good old Shannon here, who's also excited to share her review. And then we, of course, got George back there. And then the later part will be our discussion and spoiler discussion, if you're wondering how this is going to go. If it's your first time here, that's usually how we do it. I'll go first. I got to say, for me, this movie I felt like I was on an acid trip.
Yes.
But in the best way possible. Like, I didn't need to do any drugs to be on part of this trip. The trip was just watching the movie. I didn't see this in IMAX. I didn't see this in Dolby. We got early tickets. And it was still... I mean, it was great here. I can't even imagine what this movie would be like in Dolby and IMAX. I mean,
oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter what format you watch it in. This movie is just absolutely bananas. Hilarious. I was never bored. Not even a little bit. Like, everything was just so bonkers. And I heard one person say, when I was just going to the movies, it's like, it feels like too much. No, it doesn't feel like too much. It feels like there should be more. Because, I was so locked in and, like, I was completely invested. These characters are so much fun. Their dialogue is so great. I just feel like it was just a crazy ride. Don't expect Guardians of the Galaxy. It is doing some other unique things. Mm-hmm. Shannon was saying earlier that it feels like you're earthbound while Guardians are like spacebound. And I
Yeah.
kind of agree with that, but this is way more raunchy, way more
Yeah.
like over the top, way more
This is an
gore
adult-
and blood.
yeah.
I think I caught like 70 F words and like dick jokes, and just, you know, it's not for kids by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Keep your kids home. Take your best friend, take your date. You know, teenagers are probably going to be fine. So much fun. I still can't believe Margaret Robbie. I was like, what are you doing? Because she was like, I'm going to go do Suicide Squad 2. And I'm like, Suicide Squad 1 was just kind of like, okay. The better role is Promising Young Woman, because that's the one she
Yes,
produced and she was
yes.
supposed to star in it. Now that I've seen the Suicide Squad, and she's like, no, I have to be in this movie. Yes, she had to be in this movie. She has not as many scenes as Birds of Prey, because that is Margaret Robbie's like center role, but every scene that Margaret Robbie was in this movie was absolutely fantastic. Everybody did a good job, but I think for me personally, the two people that completely stole this movie, John Cena. Oh my gosh, John Cena. It is, if you thought he was boring in Fast and Furious 9, this is where, like, I feel like John Cena is like shining as a crazy over the top character. Also, there's a shark that is played by Sylvester Stallone, and I literally feel like that role was made for Sylvester Stallone. Like, James Gunn called up Sylvester Stallone, was like, hey, I got a role for you. I'm just gonna have you play a shark. And he
Yeah,
was just like,
like-
sold.
This is like calling up Vin Diesel and saying, you're going to play a character
good,
who
like
can
a
only
tree.
speak one word.
That's so true.
And it's going to be the greatest character ever.
Really, I can't talk any plot points, because if you watch the trailer, nothing in that trailer shows you what the story is, what the plot is, what the characters will end up doing. The only thing you need to know, as you know from if you've seen Suicide Squad, they're all villains who are in prison, and they all get, you know, got to get this. If they work for this lady who puts a bomb in your neck, and if they complete the mission, their prison sentence is decreased, and that's it. That's all you need to know. And then they go on this mission, and I can't talk about what the mission is because it's literally nothing
You
in the
wouldn't
trailer.
even believe us if we told you.
Yes,
You
like,
would not believe us.
just stay for the spoiler or come back later so we can talk about the bananas in this
Yeah.
movie. But it is, oh my god, I just watch the movie. I'm gonna see this again. I have to see this again in IMAX or Dolby or something. I'm so glad James Gunn is coming back. I can't wait for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I can't wait for Suicide 3. So that's my review. Go see it.
Yeah, I was really glad that they were able to reboot this. I normally am like, what are you guys doing? There's 17 Superman movies. I don't need another one. Like, do some original content. But the first Suicide Squad was just so boring, and I didn't like it, and I fell asleep like halfway through.
Well, it is 30% on Run, or 20% on
Yeah,
Rotten
it was
Tomatoes.
so boring, and no one really liked it. But the Harley Quinn character was awesome. Like, there was one piece of that movie that everyone loved, and then I had one girl that I taught at gymnastics. She came in a Harley Quinn outfit every week. I was like, this is a big character.
I really liked Will Smith. I'm sorry, he was really good.
Well, he's good at it's Will Smith.
It's Will
He's good
Smith,
at
that's
everything.
true. But I liked his character.
No surprise there. Margot Robbie, best part of the other movie. Also the best part of this movie, in my opinion. I like every scene she was in, I was hooked on the screen. There's some really beautiful like shots of places that she goes, and she's just great. She's a good actress. I loved her in I, Tonya, and I've loved her in everything ever since. So go watch this movie. Like Fahad said, don't take any kids. Go with your don't go with your grandparents. Yeah, funny movie. I like how colorful it was, and I like how absolutely absurd it was. I was like, this is like Guardians of the Galaxy meets SpongeBob meets an acid trip meets Godfather Part 4. Like, I don't even know what to say about this thing. Spoilers coming up next. George?
I can't even think of that combo. I'm trying to imagine it. I can't
You
even
just saw
comprehend.
it. You just saw it.
I'm just gonna make
so
one.
many.
I'm just gonna make one reference. It's, for me, this is the sequel to Ratatouille. you have no idea what the heck I'm talking about if you haven't seen the movie. But this is the sequel I wanted from Ratatouille. Is one of my favorite movies of all
That's a
time.
great
I
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah.
This is the bananas crazy version of Ratatouille for me. Don't ask me why I'm saying that. Like, Ratatouille, what are you even
I
talking
leaned over
about?
at one point. I was like, is there acid in my drink? Did you put something, like, what am I on right now? This is a drug trip.
It's bananas. All right, George, sorry. You can keep going.
Wait, I started?
I don't know. Did you?
Did I?
You tell
I
me.
don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, this movie was amazing. I was excited to see this movie. And I was not let down by any stretch of the imagination. There was a lot of hard to imagine things in this movie that were absolutely amazing. In my opinion, this is Deadpool meets Midsummer.
Yeah,
And,
that works.
That's
Yeah.
like about sort of
Midsummer?
what I.
What?
Because it's so gory, but the gore
It's gory,
is funny.
but it's funny gore,
Yeah.
Okay.
just like in Midsummer. So
Okay, I follow you now.
the jokes in it were better than even that. I don't know. I don't have something to compare that to. Like, it was in and of its own. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. I would have to say John Cena definitely, in my opinion, did really steal the show
Yeah.
with the things he did.
And-
Him and Idris Elba, oh my goodness, they're so funny
Yeah.
in this movie, and I was not expecting. I mean, from the trailers, you could tell that John Cena was gonna say some funny things, but like, their banter's great.
Yeah, and this is not a spoiler because anybody who's been following James Gunn or Suicide Squad, like, they might have not heard of it, but most of you guys have, so I'll just say it. I am now really excited for the Peacemaker TV show on HBO Max.
There is a TV show
and-
with John Cena.
Yep. And and James Gunn
Oh
wrote
my
all
goodness.
6 episodes.
Oh, you're
Oh my
kidding.
goodness.
Season 1 hidden. I think they're gonna start filming it soon. But yeah, it's called Peacemaker, which is the name of John Cena's character. And what happens after this movie? Now that is a spoiler, so I can't tell you.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm really excited for that TV show.
They stole the Marvel idea.
I mean, they
doing-
should.
I mean, that's perfect. This
I
is
mean, like, okay.
This is what I've always wanted for, like,
So-
DC Universe.
Yeah,
Oh.
when they announced it like
Yes.
2 months ago, I was like, John Cena's side character from Suicide Squad? Nobody wants that. Watching this movie, everybody.
Everybody's gonna
Everybody
want
wants that. Everybody and their mother and their children.
Everybody wants you.
And that is also true. John Cena is a very good-looking man.
Yes.
But anyways, keep going, George.
Okay. So I would have to say Margot Robbie, of course, once again, absolutely killed the villains.
Nobody else can play Harley Quinn, as far as I'm
I
concerned.
even liked her action scenes, and I hate action scenes, but hers were great.
She does have absolutely awesome action scenes.
To be fair, every action scene was so bananas and also very original.
Yes.
That I can't help but like the action scenes. I tried.
So-
There was some like, this is just gonna be one of those. No, every action scene is just
It was so good.
so original. That is
Yeah.
after.
Creative.
I mean, it does come to a point where you've seen so many action movies that when something stands out like this movie, you're like, oh wow, they're actually doing something new with action scenes, and I'm very impressed by that.
Really,
Yeah.
I'm really gonna have to watch this movie like at least like 2 to 3 more times.
Yeah.
And I don't, because we watch so many movies, I don't normally do that. But this movie was so good.
Absolutely.
I've got to.
So we are at the 15-minute mark. Let's give our final rating. For me, go see it in theaters now.
If you're not really an action movie person.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it.
Would
But
you
it was not like in my top 10 movies of the year or anything.
No, this is 100%.
Oh my goodness.
This is going to be in my top 3 movie of
Maybe
the year.
if I watch it again, because I think I missed a lot of jokes. Because
That is a good
You know
point.
what?
That's
That
a good point.
explains actually your reason for saying to watch it on streaming, because honestly, I will say this, while we were in the theater, we were all laughing so hard that like
hard.
nobody everybody
I
was
missed,
laughing.
like, half of the
Everybody was
plot,
laughing.
yeah.
I was laughing,
I
you were
missed-
laughing, you were
yeah.
probably laughing. We were all laughing so hard it was hard to actually hear
Yeah.
what they were saying.
I literally
Okay.
missed a lot of the jokes because everyone was laughing so hard. And I missed a lot of the plot. We were in a press screening or an early screening that a lot of the people here are like huge DC fans, so they knew what all
Yeah,
the
like
jokes
people.
were that
That's
I
why I
didn't.
wore my Star Wars shirt, because everybody had a
Oh.
DC Spider-Man. I saw one guy, kid you not, he was wearing a Suicide Squad shirt with the comic characters of Suicide on his
Yeah,
shirt.
I saw a Harley Quinn shirt.
Yeah,
Yep.
so for me, I was like, okay, like I know what I'm getting into. But you're right. I don't think, just so you know, this James Gunn, if you read the comics, they've made it, James Gunn literally said he doesn't care about the comics, and just like
really?
Guardians of the Galaxy is not the comic Guardian of the Galaxy.
Which
and
no one cares because no one
there's
read
like
those
they're
comics.
well, the thing with B characters are you can make Superman black, but you can make Will Smith's character who's white be black in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, because no
you
one
know?
cares. Yeah, no one's read those comics.
Right. You can't make Harley Quinn this way because she's a B character of the Joker. So you can change her character and do something brand new.
Yeah.
And most people are like, as long as you get the personality on screen,
Which
I don't really care what
do,
she
yeah.
does, and that totally you see it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So they're cheering because it was just where the movie itself was going. There wasn't anything in there. I think it was just like craziness. I think people were just excited. They were happy.
No, I think there was some comic book references.
Oh,
or
of course,
something.
but of course there are Easter eggs that they always do.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think you don't have to watch Suicide Squad 1. You don't have to read the comics.
No.
You can totally go into this and be like,
You'll have
I'm
a good
just
time. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
George,
I do like. Oh, never mind.
final rating.
We'll go into
yeah.
spoilers later.
Let's just finish our
Final rating. Definitely go watch this in theaters because this movie was amazing. I would venture to say this is probably like one of the. I'd say this might be the best R-rated comedy of the year. Action.
Oh,
comedy.
the year. I was like, whoa, take it down a notch. But a year, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I do think
Yeah.
I need to rewatch this to really understand every joke because they hit you with the jokes every 2 seconds.
It's fast. Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Anyways, this is our final rating. We all did enjoy it, as you know. We all recommend it. And I think I'm gonna add the Shannon part, which is true. I didn't think about it, but now that she said it, I can't help but say it now, and I agree with you. I do need to rewatch this movie
Yeah.
because I was completely sold on laughing rather than following
Yeah.
along. We did miss a lot.
Yeah.
It is just that type of movie. So that's our final rating for this. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Stick around because we're going right into our spoiler review, which starts
Right now,
Now.
here's your warning.
so hopefully you guys who are coming back or are watching this have seen the first part of our review and have watched the movie, because this is all spoiler discussion and just discussion, open discussion with spoilers added in. So I have to say, this is not my favorite DC movie, but it might be top 2. My favorite DC movie to this day continues to be Wonder Woman 1. And this goes past my second favorite DC movie, which is Man of Steel, and that is now bumped it. Now, I can't include The Dark Knight or the old Tim Burton Batman movies or anything like that because, well, they're not part of the same universe. I'm literally just talking the DCU, kind of like the Marvel, like, you can watch X-Men, but X-Men are not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're, even though they're Marvel. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. Anything that is set up in the same characters and universe that Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and the Justice League setup, I would bump this now past Man of Steel, number 2. So Man of Steel is taking a step down to number 3. And fourth, of course, is always going to be, I think if I rewatch it, maybe this movie could get higher, but I've only seen it once and I really liked it, but I do need to rewatch it. Shazam. I love Shazam.
Yeah, that's a funny movie.
I don't know where that would
Yes.
land because I've only seen it in theaters once.
Isn't there a second one coming out?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Well, first it's Black Adam with The Rock because he's playing the villain of Shazam and he's getting his own
Oh,
movie.
cool.
Then we'll get, or maybe it's a Shazam 2. Then I can't remember. Somebody look up, Google
Yeah, I think
something.
you're right
but
about
it's
that.
it's there. So, and I would just put Justice League and Batman versus Superman not on my top list at all. I mean I parts of the movies of Batman vs Superman and like Justice League Joss Whedon, Justice League Zack Snyder, All of them have merits here and there, and I would even put Wonder Woman there somewhere. Like, it's kind of like, I enjoyed parts of Wonder Woman too, but it just was a huge letdown. Here are my top, these are my top 4 movies. Oh, sorry, I forgot about Aquaman. Sorry, Aquaman number 5, because that movie is just, you would love that movie. It's all colors.
I like colors.
And it's Little Mermaid on acid. You should watch
Yes.
it.
Okay.
So sorry, Shazam. Then let me try. Let me just give my top 5. So here it is. Number 1. What did I say was? Oh, Wonder Woman 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's Suicide Squad Part 2.
Is number 2.
Is number 2. Man of Steel is number 3. Number 4 is Shazam, and number 5 is Aquaman. And all the other ones like Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, they're just kind of like whatever to me. I did enjoy Birds of Prey. I thought it was better than Suicide Squad 1, but it just wasn't a movie that I felt any reason to rewatch it ever again. So, Shannon, where's your list at, and what do you think?
Oh gosh, I couldn't even make a list for DC. I am not that.
Did you like any of it? You like Wonder Woman 1 and 2?
I liked Wonder Woman 2 was a lot of fun.
You saw those? Did you ever see Shazam?
Yeah, I did like Shazam. That was good.
So have you seen anything else that I mentioned? Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Justice League? No?
A long time ago. I thought those movies were so boring.
So
I don't like dark action movies. They're bored me to tears.
So how would you rank this movie with Wonder Woman 1, 2, and Shazam?
I have no idea, man. That's a hard question. I haven't seen those movies in years. I liked Wonder Woman 2 was great. It was funny. I liked the colors, like you said. I wanted this movie to be more colorful.
This movie was great.
This movie was just
way more
completely colors.
Yeah, because Justice League and Batman movies are all like pale compared to this movie.
Oh yeah, I hated Wonder Woman because it was just gray. The entire thing was gray.
Well, that was World War II, but I get what you mean. So that's so like you can't.
Yeah,
rank it.
I just don't. I don't care to rank them because I don't know. They're all very different movies.
Okay, for me, I would have to say my favorite DC movie is Shazam. Now followed by this new Suicide Squad, which is absolutely amazing, and then probably number 3 would be Wonder Woman. After that, they all kind of drop off.
Yeah, I know, right? You're kind of like,
that's what I'm saying.
They're just like, whatever.
So now that we've kind of ranked it, and if you're still here, we're gonna go into some spoiler stuff. So there's a setup to Margaret Robbie's character that is so absurd, and it works in every level. And this is how I know Margaret Robbie's a genius, because she can walk into a room and be like, I'm gonna take a romantic movie where a non-psychopath who isn't a serial killer / crazy ass person falls in love with kind of like a prince character from Disney, but that prince is also much worse than the psychopath character, and she figures out that this douchebag
That was my favorite part of the whole movie.
Is literally killing children to be like mutated or whatever. But
I would watch an entire movie of just these two characters like flouncing around their castle. I wish that he would have been a good guy, and I wish that
I'm glad he wasn't.
Up together.
So glad he wasn't.
I'm so glad. I mean, I've seen those movies. There's 100 movies.
I want that greenhouse with the birds in it.
Okay, but Margaret Robbie is.
I have watched Hallmark. There are thousands.
There's a billion one of those movies.
Yes.
I want Margaret Robbie. Just the way
No, but I specifically want Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn with that character, but he's a good guy.
No.
I hate Hallmark movies. They're
Never
boring.
There's only one person that
Okay,
Margaret Robbie's
saying.
Harley Quinn goes with, and it's the psychopath that is the Joker.
Yeah, why wasn't the Joker in this movie?
Because the Joker is already.
He's
so
dead?
this is post.
Suicide Squad 1.
What?
Post
No,
Birds
this is
of
a
Prey.
different world.
Right.
So
No, this is
basically,
She blew him up, right?
This
She had
isn't
tried
part of
to.
Birds of Prey.
She supposedly blew him up, but I think
I do
it
remember
was.
that.
It wasn't that she actually blew him up. She blew up like his whole.
I thought this
place
was just a fresh
something.
start reboot. The other movies don't
Essentially-
exist.
No, they actually did.
I don't know why
But
that
the-
guy said that. I'm like, are you
No,
I'm
serious?
not sure
what
why
I
he said that
heard.
because this
Yeah. I heard
movie
that too.
literally started off with a nod to the previous
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Did it?
Yes,
Yes,
because
that
the
character-
boomerang guy, he said, "Hey Harley," because they were together in the last Suicide Squad.
And the woman
mission.
who puts the bombs in their neck, She's the same character from
And
Suicide.
she
yeah.
basically
yeah.
was like, you already know how the rules go with
Yeah.
this, and she just basically did a summary.
I just
of
thought they
what the
did that
last
because
Suicide
everyone's
Squad
seen
was.
the other movies.
No. They never said reboot. They just said sequel.
Well, how come they didn't say 3?
Because
Because
they
Birds
want
of Prey-
everyone to forget the last one.
Birds
no.
of Prey wasn't a sequel.
Birds of Prey. What? I mean, it
Birds
is,
of Prey
but it's
is
not
a
as
standalone, pretty much.
It's like when you watch Captain America 1 and 2. There's the middle, which was Avengers, but it's not Captain America 2.
I guess you're right, because they wouldn't have been able to get the rights to use Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. They wouldn't have gotten the rights to that character.
I mean, they can't take away from what the first movie set up. All they could do is just add on to the fact what the first movie set up, right? So they did
yeah,
that.
I guess you're right. I guess because I went into this thinking it was a reboot.
No, that's why when the guy said that, I did, like George said, I didn't want to like argue with him, but in my head I was like, no, you're dead wrong.
but he's
okay.
like a huge DC fanboy.
Yeah, but he was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong.
Okay.
But he was wrong. Like I even watched the previews and them talking about it. James Gunn said, "No, this is a year after Suicide Squad 1."
Oh.
So Will Smith's character is not technically dead or gone. He just got out of prison and moved on with his life.
All right.
That's all that happened, and she was looking for the next person because Will Smith's character was like that shooter. He was like a perfect shot, right?
Okay.
So she made this guy Bloodspot.
Bloodsport.
Okay, whatever this character's name was. He basically has the
Was he
same
Idris
skills.
Elba?
Yeah, Idris Elba. He has the same skills as Will Smith, but just a different character. And you're just kind of like, oh, okay. I'm actually happy about that they didn't just say, oh, he's just playing Will Smith's character.
Yeah.
He's playing somebody else entirely.
Yeah.
With the same skills and that's why it was funny when he saw John Cena. So you're like, that was a wink at the audience when he's like, so he's just me but with smaller bullets. That was a joke at Will Smith's
I
character.
totally missed that joke.
It's a very like Easter egg, like whatever, like where it's kind of like wink at the end. It's like, if you're following along, this is what we're doing, just so you know.
That's what I'm saying. I think I missed a lot of these jokes because I didn't make it through Suicide Squad 1. I was so bored.
It's one of those movies that if you didn't watch it, it's not gonna take away anything, right?
Yeah,
like
no,
it's
I
its
don't
own
think so.
sad story. There's a beginning.
Yeah.
They need to get on this island. They have to take down these guys. They have to destroy this whatever, and somehow there's a giant starfish.
That was crazy.
That was so awesome.
This was like, that's when the SpongeBob hit me. I was like, Squidward is the villain? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this?
What are we not doing, and why is it working?
I
That's
don't
the other-
know, but it was funny. Like,
That was great.
It was
It's like, what's with the spear? I'm waiting for God to tell me what to do with the
That
spear.
was hilarious.
Like that Joan of Arc
Oh my
joke just
gosh.
completely killed.
Oh, yeah.
And I just saw Joan of Arc, the movie that came out in like early 2000s,
really?
and she's like murdering people, but she's like, well, God told me to take this land. It's like, no, you're just literally a psychopath who murdered a bunch of people.
That's the great debate of Joan of Arc.
Yep. So I thought that joke was like so spot on. There's a lot of things in this movie that were just so well. I don't know. There's just so much going on in the screen. I can't even describe
clever
it.
jokes. They're wordy jokes. They're
Yes.
not just dumb jokes. Well, there are dumb jokes.
Oh, there are many dumb jokes,
many
but
dumb
they're.
jokes.
I
But
like.
some of them are so creative. I've never seen that before.
I
like it when it
almost-
rains. It's almost like
Like the angels are weeping.
no, it was
That's not what she
weeping.
said.
No,
But we
she
can't
said-
repeat it for YouTube.
Yeah, we can't.
Wait. What did she say?
You'll have to cut this out, but she said splurging, or
What does splurging mean?
like.
Oh
jacking
my
off.
God.
Yes. That's why. But that
I
was
didn't
actually
hear-
in the
that's-
trailer.
Oh, was it?
That was in the trailer, which
Okay.
is such a crazy thing
Well,
to have in the trailer.
they did release an R-rated trailer. Maybe I just didn't get
Yeah,
a
you might
chance
have
to
seen-
watch it, but you might have seen it.
I definitely saw it at one point, and I was like, "What
Whoa.
is this?" But I knew it was going to be a good movie because I saw
I'm kind of glad I didn't hear it because I was able to just enjoy the.
The tone
No,
of
it was so great.
They start off this movie with like it seems like it's gonna have a darker tone to
Yeah.
it. So I was totally in for like one of these dark, Batman versus Superman, like dark, serious, grim, dark movies.
This movie is
And
very
then-
dark, though.
And then
Yeah.
like there's like a body count of like 20 dead characters at the very beginning, and then all of a sudden they go, his name stands for the Detachable Man, and then there's
You know who that
floating
was?
arms floating
That was
around.
Nathan Fillion.
Was it really?
That was
I
Nathan
didn't
Fillion from
see-
Serenity
I did not-
Firefly.
I was
I
gonna
noticed
say he
that.
looked kind of familiar under that mask.
And then he has his arms detached and he's trying to grab
like,
people
snapping.
and
Ah!
they're shooting his arms and he's on the ground.
That was what was so perfect about it because like, you know, since it's only his arm, it doesn't have all that much weight behind it. So like he was basically just slapping.
It was absolutely fantastic in every way
I
possible.
didn't know what to make of this movie. The first 20 minutes, I'm like, is this a serious or is it a comedy? It's a comedy. It's comedy. It's definitely a comedy. So I felt bad laughing at half of these jokes.
Why?
Because
That's the whole
they were
point of
all
them.
people dying. Every single
That's
joke
the
was
whole
like a
point of
person,
it.
like a weird way somebody
That's
dies.
why, honestly, I know I was probably the only one in the theater that laughed when the spot guy, the polka dot guy died, but it was funny.
That was funny, but at that point in the movie, like at the end of the movie,
Everybody
I was
was
already
like,
there. I was into it.
And
at
I'm
that
just
point.
like,
That's true.
I've never heard an audience react the way this audience reacted.
I mean, I was feeling everything that the audience was feeling, and I was feeding off of it because
Yeah.
it was just so. If we just saw, there are movies that are worth seeing by myself, like limited, and then there's movies like this where I want to see with the full audience.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, I want to see with the full
Yeah.
freaking audience, and it
I
totally
do agree
worked.
with you on that.
Yeah. Okay, so, I was gonna say something, and I totally forgot because I was just trying to listen to you guys. Oh my gosh, what was it? It'll come back to me. Okay, so let's talk about the Ratatouille, like, and the entire storyline that is this girl. I don't know if that character is
that was
literally
great.
a comic character.
That's probably what he did. But I thought that he did a good job because my favorite thing about like Guardians of the Galaxy is like my favorite superhero movie. If I had to pick one,
One or two.
Oh, both of them, just as one conglomerate. But that's because he's able to put these really interesting characters with interesting backstories, and like the one has daddy issues, and the other one has sister issues, the other one, and he goes really deep into their backstories, and like it becomes like a psychology movie at some point with a lot of funny jokes in it and a great soundtrack. And then there's a little bit of superhero stuff. And he started to do that with this movie, and I hope that he continues it with the next movie. But I would love to see going into that backstory that girl had a little bit more and resolving some of her daddy issues. Like, it was just, those are the best parts of the movie for me. And the little shark, like, the big shark, like, he just wants to have friends, but he keeps eating all of his friends. And, like, that was like funny but also super deep at the same time.
I love how she's just like, do you have any friends? Like, no. It's like, do you want to be my friend? Yes. He's gonna eat you. It's like, okay, you crazy weird
like,
little girl.
He's like Groot, but he murders people.
Yeah, it's like this guy. It's like, he's just a weasel. He's harmless. Well, no, he's killed like 200 women and children. That was pretty great.
The weasel was hilarious. And did anyone check if the weasel could swim?
And like they're all like looking around, and the one woman's just like.
Let's talk about the IT room, the nerds that take over,
goodness,
and it is so absolutely fantastic. They're all like watching this, and they're like, "Well, she's calling them home because it's not the government's problem." And this lady literally just smacks this woman to the ground and is like, "We got you. Let's save these people." And like, that entire scene, that was probably the biggest cheer. But, so that woman works for the government, the USA government.
How do you know that? And what world does she? How do you figure that out? How do you know that?
Because she was in Suicide Squad 1. She's the one who hired Will Smith's character.
I missed.
And Margaret Robbie's character. She created the Suicide Squad.
The theater was like screaming when she came
because she's she blackmails people.
No.
People were cheering for her.
You're thinking the wrong thing. So basically, no, they were cheering because that other woman got hit in the head.
Oh, I thought they were cheering for the character.
No,
No. They were cheering because she got knocked.
She did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They weren't cheering for that character. They were cheering that this girl who's like some nerdy IT girl and like nails it to the ground, and then the entire IT nerdy and they're like, we got you as backup, because it's like, it's kind of like, I mean, like John Cena says, like, I love that character. He was kind of like the leader, the white guy who was not John Cena, but the other big wrestling looking guy. He's just a spy. He just like works for the government, but he's like a super spy.
What was his name?
It's like the last thing he says before John Cena kills him is like, "Peacemaker, what a joke."
Oh,
Yeah,
That guy.
the very first guy that they start in the movie with.
I'm just saying, like, that was just really cool to see, because I just wanted to, like, it was kind of like setting up the entire system, which is flawed. It goes from the government to the chick who's in charge of this program called the Suicide Squad, and it was kind of like they were like, yeah, I thought you hired us to be superheroes. It sounds more like you're more villainous than even us. So Idris Elba just turns the mic off, throws it, and Margaret Robbie and everybody else start following him. And even the people in the IT, you always see those IT people not do anything because they're too scared, or they like either get killed by the villain. I've never seen like the nerdy people just take charge and knock out the person in charge, and that was really
That was
cool.
awesome.
Yep. So that's our review, guys. Check out our Jungle Cruise review, which is coming also in a few days. We got big news. Shannon, thanks for joining us. You got to drive.
Yep, I gotta get out of here, guys. So
Take care.
thanks, guys. Subscribe, like, do all the good stuff.
Bye.
Bye.